B5 was the specimen signature of PW2, while B3 was the specimen signature of PW3. He was to compare the question signature marked as A with the specimen and non-signatures marked as B. He concluded in his opinion that the signatures in A were not made by either of the authors of the non and specimen signatures in B. He produced his report as exhibit number 517. A minute. In cross-examination, he confirmed that the question documents were certified copies which were reproduced from the original. That it was better if he could have used the original documents. He stated that in making the analysis, he considered the natural variations by looking at the signatures, that the reports were verified by a team of experts. Next, we have PW137, Domtila Mayo, who was working at the KCB Eldoret East branch as the manager in the years 2022 and to 2023. She informed the court that as concerns this case, the first accused, PW6, and the chief officer, the principal trustee, went to the bank and requested to open an account. She advised them to avail an introductory letter, national IDs, KRA pins, minutes, declaration of the trust, and the trust deed. That all the documents were supplied except the trust deed. The account opening form was produced as exhibit number 519. She was informed that the trust deed was still being processed at the land's office. They thus requested for a waiver to allow the opening of the account to proceed without the deed. That their chief officer at the headquarters granted the waiver. The email conversation excerpt with the headquarters were produced as exhibit number 523. The account was thus opened and was operated by the three as signatory. It was account number 12859222778, named Wasingishu Overseas Education Trust account. The account received some deposits from various children and parents. That later the DCI commenced investigations on the account. They thus provided the bank documents, the bank statement and other documents as required by the DCI. That later on another Euro account was opened as a sister account and using the same documents as number 13014222746. She produced the statement of the Euro account as exhibit number 525. The account was also subjected to investigation by the DCI. Some withdrawals were made from the account, the Euro account that is, including a check of Kenya shilling 6,478,000 signed by the principal trustee and the first accused for visa processing for particular students. The same was made on the 14th of January 2022 and was produced as exhibit number 526. Another withdrawal was for Kenya shillings 11,050,000 done through a SWIFT transfer on the 19th of January 2023 by the same two signatories, remitting the amount to Canada. She spoke to the first accused, who confirmed through a particular letter that he was remitting the money for payment of school fees for particular students at British Columbia University. The check was produced as exhibit number 527. Another check withdrawal dated 27th of January 2023 was made by the same officials and was verified by the branch operations manager for Kenya shillings 1,440,000. Several other withdrawals were done by the three signatories, which according to me and to my additions amounted to Kenya shillings 586,633,204.71. In cross-examination, the witness confirmed that the introductory letter came from the county, but not the CECM finance. That the withdrawals show where the monies were going to. That some of the monies were for visa processing, while others went to pay school fees, mainly at Tampere University. That the monies withdrawn did not use to benefit the trustees. That she did not complete any suspicious transaction throughout and during the operations of the accounts. That their bank or any of its employees has not been reprimanded by any authority with regard to the trust. That none of the accounts has ever held 1.1 billion throughout their operations. That the highest amount in the account was Kenya shillings 130 million, which kept on fluctuating depending on the deposits and withdrawals. That as at 25th of August 2022, Kenya shillings 35 million was in the account. That there is no time the first accused came with no supporting documents of the universities and students that the withdrawals was meant for. She therefore confirmed that the first accused has not stolen or misappropriated any of the monies in the account. Number 235542, Chief Inspector Martin Munene, who was the lead investigator, and testified that his inquiry established a conspiracy to steal a sum of Kenya shillings 1.1 billion from account number 12859227778, domicile at Kenya Commercial Bank, Eldoret. He noted that the account was registered through a private trust under the name of Fingishu Education Trust Fund. He further testified that the amount had been deposited by victims, including students and parents, as fees and other incidental costs, under the expectation that the students will study abroad under the Fingishu County Education Program. The investigator testified that his investigation observed that the victims were under the perception that the program was spearheaded by the Fingishu County government. They gained confidence in the scheme because the third accused, who was the governor at the time, was the pioneer of the program. However, the investigation established that it was a private program initiated for the purpose of stealing money by the accused persons and others who are still at large. He submitted the trust deed, exhibit number 324, for examination to the document examiner via an exhibit memo dated the 12th of August 2023, exhibit number 513, that the investigation revealed that the trust deed was forged. Specifically, the signatures appearing on the trust deed and minutes for PW1, 2, and 3 were forgeries. The investigator also acquired bank statements for account number 12859227778 and the Euro account number 13014222746, which were produced as exhibits number 524 and 525 respectively. These statements confirmed the deposits made by the victims and revealed the cash withdrawal made by the first and second accused persons. He testified that while the third accused advertised the program as a county initiative using county apparatus and employees, it was a private program intended for their own benefit. Further, that the investigation revealed that the accused persons claimed they had paid the Rift Valley Technical Training Institute, RVTTI, a sum of shillings 200,000 for students' interview venues withdrawn from account number 12859227778. However, investigation supported by letters dated 5th of September 2023, exhibits numbers 403 and 404, established that this amount was never paid to the institution. He further testified that the first and second accused persons withdrew various amounts of cash, which totaled to Kenya shillings 56,512,300, and further each one of them withdrew Kenya shillings 26,553,939, and Kenya shillings 4,803,400, respectively, from account number 12859227778, which remains unaccounted for to date. He also testified that the first and second accused persons, with others not before court, also received various cash amounts made for interviews that were never deposited in the various accounts that were formed. He further stated that the entire overseas program had 3 accounts that were run by private individuals, and the 3 accounts were not Uasin Gishu County government accounts, since they were not sanctioned by the CEC finance of the county. He stated that the Auditor General could not audit the accounts since they were not for the county. He produced the appointment letters for accused 1 and 2 as exhibits 605 and 606 respectively, confirming that they were employees of Uasin Gishu County government between 2021 to 2022. Finally, he produced a letter dated 21st July 2023, exhibit 610, confirming that the overseas program was never approved by the Uasin Gishu County Cabinet. He testified that the third accused arbitrarily entered into the MOU with various universities without the resolution or approval of the Uasin Gishu County Assembly. He further testified that the third accused initially misrepresented the program as a full scholarship to Finland and Canada, only for it to later emerge that all students were required to pay their own fees. The lead investigator further testified that the trust deed, Exhibit 324, was prepared by Hilary Kiprop Marimoi, PW 79. That during the recording of his statement, PW 79 stated that after preparing the documents, he forwarded it via North Rift shuttle to Eldoret. The document was subsequently returned to him for witnessing and registration, having purportedly been signed by all the trustees. That crucially, the investigating officer's evidence showed that during the interrogation of PW 79, the witness confirmed that the trustees whose names appeared on the trust deed did not physically appear before him for the signing.
CHEBON.
That's the end of it. I write that now.
Hapa